back here. It's a little after 10 in the morning. I've been out here working in the garden all day, and I feel so lucky to actually say that I'm in the shade of my amazing corn bed here. Parts of the corn are approximately 10 feet tall, and I'll show you images. You can see our stockade fence is 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'6". This corn is towering over me, and it is really in big production. Now, we did not do a tutorial this year about actually how to side dress and how to fertilize, but we do have another video in detail, which we will attach the link below. You will want to watch that. Now, if you haven't stopped here before, my name is Leigh. This is our backyard garden. We are suburban New Jersey gardeners, and we grow corn every year. This is the Silver Queen hybrid, which we find grows very, very easily for us. And there is a system to growing it, and we've been so successful. We thought we would share with you how we actually grow it and why we think we have so much success. So yeah, you guys, growing corn can be a tricky little thing. Now, we make sure that we only plant one variety of corn because corn does cross-pollinate. We do like planting a hybrid with corn because we are ensured that with the growing methods and harvesting of corn, we have found that sweet white corn does the best for us. So we stick with one thing, and it's just working out the absolute best for us. So now we sowed these seeds directly back in early May after all threat of frost was over. What we do is, this is Farmer John's thing, by the way. We create little hills, which are a little bit hard to see. I'm going to go down and see if I can take you into the bed a little bit. You can see that the rows are all mounded up, and that is called hilling. So John plants his seeds every few inches. He has an absolute system, which we'll go over in the video that we attach, and he doesn't give it any fertilizer or anything until it's at a certain amount of segments. Everything is covered in the last video. But what I wanted to explain to you today about this corn is knowing what it's doing at this phase and what you can expect from it. Now, this corn is like a 90-day corn, but because we're in this microclimate, and I apologize, I'm actually dripping sweat. This corn will probably most likely be ready 75 to 80 days. Now, corn goes through certain things. You'll see in the video that we're attaching, and we'll hope you will watch, that it gets fertilized at V6. V6 means that it's in a vegetative state, and it's about to produce its brace roots. And you want to make sure it's fertilized so it can start to get ready to form ears. Now, I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to keep the camera on the corn as I talk to you because there's important things that I want you to know how to look for if this is your first time growing corn. Wow, again, I'm hiding in the shade of the corn canopy. A few things that I've explained over and over, and some people may not really understand. You'll hear me talk about brace roots a lot. And when I describe a brace root and how the brace root will grow up on the top of the hill that you create for your corn, you'll often see me put my hand into a claw and say the corn is going to form brace roots. So right now, with this comparison here, I'm going to show you what brace roots actually look like. So these are brace roots, you guys, and you can see how the brace roots hold on to the hill. Now, they are there to brace the tall, skinny structure. They are there to drink. So it's important that when you hill up your corn and you want to water from the bottom, because those brace roots are hugging that hill and they are dipping in to get the water from the furrows that are in between all of the hills. So in the long rows, this corn is actually able to get all of its water. So I'm showing you this angle here because when I come out here with the hose, I stick the hose in underneath, just like you're seeing my hand. I do not top water corn. Now, you might ask what happens in the rain, what happens with the farmers when they're doing, big drinks from the big irrigation trucks. Corn grows best when it is watered from the bottom. So your best interest is to get water into these furrows. And of course you want to give these brace roots a drink at the hill, but you don't want to wash away this dirt. This is, you know, where it gets its fertilizer. It's where it braces up, and that's a very important part of the structure. What's most important if you are watering from the top is that you don't want to wash the pollen away from these seed pods up here, because those seed pods have to fertilize the silks. If you top water, you're going to wash all of that away. Now, it isn't, you know, it's very difficult to say, well, what happens when it rains? You know, it's going to get washed off. But I want to explain to you what happens here. So, as the stalk grows up, it throws these tassels. These tassels are the seed pods. And we have to get the pollen off of those seed pods onto these silks. Now, inside of this silk, it goes to a side shoot. So here's the actual ear of corn, you guys. We have corn. Every single row of silk here goes to a kernel on the ear of corn. Now you can tell when it's been pollinated because it changes color to this beautiful bronzy purple color. So we have these incredible little birds that come every year, and we always know when the corn is going to go to tassel because the birds arrive. And we always know when the silks are going to shoot out because the birds get in here and they go crazy on the tassels and they disperse the seed and the pollen onto the silks. And that is how we have germination. So all of these side shoots here are about to throw silks. You see it in there? Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. If the birds, or if you don't have another system of getting the pollen and the seeds down to these silks, you may need to come in and hand pollinate, which really is not that difficult. But look, see, can you see the little seeds in there, you guys? The little seeds. So the birds have been in here working. You can always come in and do the little hand shaking method, which is a lot of work, but it's worth it. When you go to the measures of planting a row of corn like this, you want to make sure that it completes its life cycle and that you actually reach your goal, which is to harvest corn. So, you know, we come out here now and we monitor everything very heavily to make sure that all of our silks are changing color so that we know we've reached pollination. If they're still blonde, we just go ahead in there and we give everything a good shake, or we'll pull down one of the seed pods and you just tap it onto the silk. And then within a day, you'll see that it changes color and we know that it's been pollinated. It's really a very simple system. Now this corn is very reliable. It is somewhat disease resistant, but corn does tend to get a worm. And so we spray spinosad down here into the ears, and Farmer John can cover that in another video for you, but the worm goes down in there and that's where it will live, and it will start to eat the tip of the corn. So it's important that you are prepared to address that, because that is the biggest problem with corn being destroyed. I have a catbird standing on top of my berry barn. Listen to it. It's having a fit because it wants to get into my berries, but we had to net it off. They're so funny because they either sound like a baby crying or a kitten off in the garden. I can't tell you for how many years. Oh, they got in. They got in. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, so look at the corn, you guys. You can see just how tall it is. It's really amazing, and it can be really hard to get in there and do what you need to do to take care of the corn, but it's very, very important that you know what's happening when you talk about tassels and the silks forming and where your ears actually are starting to form. So you remember, don't water your corn from the top. Make sure your brace roots are properly hilled. Make sure that you're watering enough because your kernels need the water to form. So it will be very, very soon, you guys. We're going to be having corn to harvest, so stay tuned for that. So I'm dripping sweat and I'm getting a little distracted. It's very, very hot out here. So that was just a quick hit on corn, you guys. Make sure you go to the link below, subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.